Folks, we have a new coach. Look at this. This was yesterday, the games against the Kings. In the middle of the game, Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green talking, designing a play. And that's the kind of impact that Butler is bringing to the Warriors right now. Things are going to the right direction. I have said here before, I was skeptical about that, but I'm happy to see the results so far. The Warriors have lost just one game against the Dallas, our opponent of tomorrow. And it was a game where we could have won, right? That we lost a lot of layups. We spoke about the game here before. But today I want to talk about the impact of Jimmy Butler, how he's actually changing the Warriors, right? And what he's bringing to the table. So I'm going to show you also what Draymond Green said about Jimmy Butler. I'm going to show you what Steve Kerr said about Jimmy Butler and Stephen Curry as well in the post-game conference yesterday. Different point of view, which I agree with Dan, and we're going to talk on who actually is being impacted by him and how. And then at the end, I'm going to show you an update about Jonathan Kuminga brought by Steve Kerr yesterday as well. So take a look at this.
Have you noticed any like a confidence pick me up getting Jimmy? You talked a lot before about getting down sometimes. Do you feel like just the presence of that guy solves a lot of that?
100%. Yeah, Jimmy gives us some swagger. I think Mike Dunleavy knew, we needed a shakeup. We just did. We were kind of treading water.
Look, and Curry can create a shot for himself or somebody else. He's always under control. He sees the floor so well. I don't know how many people understood how good of a passer he was. Coach talked about that after the first game, but he can get to his. He can take advantage of the space on the floor. And usually makes the right play, and we're starting to figure out, a good chemistry with him. So yeah, it's been a easy transition.
And look at Draymond Green right now.
Big talking point after tonight's game is just like the importance of limiting turnovers. What does Jimmy bring in that department, and how important is it generally?
Jimmy doesn't really turn the ball over at all, and so anytime you got him on the floor, allows you to always settle the possession down. I was telling BP tonight, it was when Jimmy hit the step back, it's like clock started running down, it's 5 or 6, he was looking the opposite way. I pointed to Jimmy, I was just telling him after the play, like, when you got guys like that on the floor and the clock run, just give them the ball and they'll go make a play, but Jimmy definitely makes a big difference in that department. And then also everyone else around him, when you have a guy out there like that, it settles you down in the possession because you have that safety valve. And so you don't need to rush and try to make something happen if something's not there. And that was, we always talk about just getting a shot at the rim. We get shots up, we'll be fine. And that was big.
So you see that they bring three different points here, right? Is the confidence that we were lacking. How many games the Warriors have lost before Jimmy Butler, where we were winning, we had big runs, and we let the other team come back like in 19 points, 20 points, or in the last 3 minutes we couldn't hit shots, and everything was on Curry's back. And then, as Draymond Green said, we were trying to rush to get that first open shot before the other defense settles down, and then we couldn't create stuff. And now you have this second all-star scorer, all-star player that can create his own shots, that can create for other team members as well, that helps on defense, that makes himself in different positions. All of that is adding up. And that's why the Warriors have lost just one game and 4 wins since he joined the team. You can see that the things changed. Like we can't promise that the Warriors will keep like that, right? There's a lot to happen, right? There's a lot of things that influence on this. Are they going to stay healthy? How it's going to be when Jonathan Kuminga comes back, which we'll talk in a bit. But the things are working well. And the fact that Jimmy Butler is there is impacting other players as well, because you took off a lot of the heavy lift from Curry, which was before, remember, shooting 30 shots per game, like for 3 consecutive games. And then now you have another guy that can run the floor, that can run the plays, that can create space, that call attention of the defense. So that make the life for Curry easier. But when Jimmy joined the Warriors, it's also tied to the moment where you saw Brandon Porzingis getting better, Moses Moody getting better, and Buddy Hield. So because those guys are having less attention, so they are shooting when they need to shoot. They're not desperate to create something. They're having more space. They're having this guy that can create for them as well. That, as you saw in the first video of today, that can coach them, that can design something, that can bring new ideas. And there's and more important, a guy that has a different style of playing than the Warriors itself, right? He's not a three-point shooter. I think Jimmy Butler shooted at like 4 threes so far in this first 5 games, maybe more, but not much more. He hit a 1 3-point shooting with the Warriors. He's not a three-point shooter. He's completely different than everyone else, and he's bringing that to the table, and he's creating that question mark in the other team's defense, which is great. Like, he's a guy that goes to the free throw line, is a thing that the Warriors don't do. He's a guy that shoots mid-range, that can go, he puts himself as a center, a power forward, to receive that ball and do layups. He had done that in all games so far, and I showed here this before. He's a guy that helps on defense. So he brought all of that, and I assume I was skeptical before because mainly of his salary, his age, and how much I wasn't sure if he was really willing, like how competitive he will come and how much interest he will come. And he has shown so far that he's definitely into it, that he wants to win. I think he has that chip on his shoulder. He has been finals, but hasn't won a title so far. So he's seeing that as an opportunity. And then there's one extra point that for me, for the future, is going to be very interesting, right? If the Warriors, as I said before, we had a video about it. You can check on the channel. We figured out how to sign Jonathan Kuminga in the next year, how to fit, not with a max extension. I think that doesn't work, but with a good salary where he would be happy. So you have him being that third scorer of the team, bringing another 20, 25 points and evolving, right? Adjusting with and learning with Jimmy Butler as well. So you have Green, Curry, Jimmy Butler, Jonathan Kuminga, and this becomes very attractive for the Warriors in the future to bring other players as well, right? So we have a supporting cast right now that is working really well. You have Moses Moody adding points, Brandon Porzingis evolving, Kevin Looney, that center that's on and off there for rebounds, and then you have Quinton Post with an impressive like 3-point shooting percentage, a tall guy that's a size, like I think he's gonna get body weight and he's gonna learn. He's a rookie, right? So you have all these guys, but when you need for the future to bring new guys as well, the Warriors are much more attractive right now, where it's not just Curry running the show and Curry against the world, right? So the Butler is already helping the Warriors in many different ways, which is unbelievable. I didn't expect all of this. The results are great. We could even be in a 5-0 win record right now with him. There was a game very winnable against Dallas, in Dallas. We are playing them tomorrow. So the Warriors have a very strong case to finish February really strong, really well, and put themselves in a very good position. We already got some positions on the stand. Remember, we were 11, now we're 9. It's all mixed there, but we can we could even finish February in a better position and already starting fighting for the play to the first 6 to play a playoff spot, which Steve Kerr said yesterday even, it is the goal, right? So talking about Steve Kerr, let's see what he said about Kuminga coming back and how he's going to do with the rotation, right? I think finally the Warriors found themselves a starting 5. Which is a small ball lineup, something that we criticized here before. It has worked before, it wasn't working. But I think with these 5 guys, which is Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, Brandon Porzingis, and Moses Moody, it's working well so far. The Warriors are playing well. Steve Kerr commented about it and how it's going to be when Jonathan Kuminga is back. And by the way, the Warriors are right now 8-0 when you have Moses Moody starting. I think he's playing really well, putting double digits in every single game. So take a look at what Steve Kerr said.
Just to clarify on the starting unit, with Moody and how well he's playing and how well he fits. Do you envision this starting unit staying intact once Kuminga comes back?
Yeah, I do. JK was coming off the bench before he got injured, and he was playing really well. He was playing 30+ minutes, but we had that rotation before he got hurt. We're obviously playing well right now. Hopefully that continues. So I'm going to commit to anything because it's all dependent on how we're playing. But if we keep playing like this, then yeah, we keep starting this way.
Yeah, and I think it's good because if Kuminga is committed with that, he's bringing those amount of points from the bench with Buddy Hield, with Moses Moody adding to that third scorer as a starter. It's very powerful, right? I think it's a very is athletic guy is going to bring something new, and coming with all that points, it's adding a lot to the Warriors. So as I said, look at the schedule. We are playing tomorrow against Dallas, right? We're going to have Andrew Iguodala with time hanging jersey celebration. I think very well deserved 4 titles with the Warriors. Finals MVP, great guy. You probably already noticed. I don't think you can see right now, but I do have his book there at the back. So I think one of my favorite players in the Warriors titles definitely deserves that. And then we play against the Charlotte and Orlando. So the Warriors, Charlotte at home, Orlando, the Magics in Orlando. The Warriors can finish really strong. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you can catch 3 wins there, finish the record with Butler since he joined on a 7-1 run, put the Warriors definitely in a playoff spot position and fighting for. So the Warriors are doing, everything is going the right direction. We need to keep everyone healthy, which the Warriors, in my opinion, compared to other teams, are doing really great. We just have one player out, which is about to come back. So we need to keep that way. I think bringing Butler also allows to balance more Draymond Green minutes, Stephen Curry minutes, which all goes in the right direction. So great move. I was skeptical, but I gotta give that to Mike Dunleavy Jr. and Steve Kerr. It was a great move, and it's going well for the Warriors so far. We see each other tomorrow. The Warriors face Dallas, and we're gonna talk here. You have a great Saturday. Bye.